Nancy, I didn't bring my wallet. You gonna buy me a cup of Joe?
I got it.
The amazing thing to me, though, about the University of Arizona is the comprehensive nature of the scholarship. So that the cardiologists can go across campus and work with the psychologists and the brain people is really pretty extraordinary. And at the same time, we're working with the chemists who are helping us design the drug. I mean, that's amazing. You don't find that just at any university, is that level of collaboration.
In fact, you find it so rarely they can't deal with it at the NIH, right?
That's exactly right. And your students are going to get, and postdocs get such experiences. So your postdocs working with cardiologists, that doesn't happen very often.
No. And to your credit, Meredith, you're the person who initially straddled the barriers and said, I'm interested in both, let's do some work.
And that's the most fun type of science to do, is when you get to do bigger things and nobody else is doing. Like you said, the NIH, it's an important area, but they're like, where do we put it?
Right.
They don't know what to do with it.
Hopefully they'll fund it again.
The next one.
The next one, right?
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, you got at it with your students, the ability to learn from people who think completely differently from you improves your science, don't you think? I mean, you just expand your horizons because you're dealing with people who aren't like all the people you've dealt with.
Did you ever notice that everyone we're working with is a woman?
That's true.
I mean, that's pretty unique.
Yeah, pretty exciting.
We have one male collaborator at NIH, but everybody else on this team pretty much is female. That's unique. This is a cool place to work because of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just probably the most fun I've ever had in my life in terms of science. Instead of just always testing mice and rats, actually getting to work with humans and making a difference possibly. It's going to be really exciting for me.
Also, I'm always struck that whenever we have a meeting together, we start laughing and joking. And our staff doesn't think it's very funny, though. They're all sitting there like stone-faced, like they think we're weird.
They don't laugh and cry.
But it's ultimately good role modeling, right? That we're having fun doing what we do, not, it's not a job.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it is a job, but it's a fun
Great
job.
job, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Exactly.
You're very, very laser focused, and you don't have the luxury actually of looking too far afield and collaborating too far afield. And I think that's something that we need to give young scientists, whether it's a postdocs or junior faculty, credit and opportunity to look far afield. Because when I started and you started, it's you did psychology or you did cardiology or medicine, and you didn't think about anything else other than that, or neuroscience. So now, how do we actually reward faculty for collaborating? It's not all about just being first author. It's about being second
Team
author.
science.
Team science. So we have to reward team science in ways that we haven't done in the past.
Imagine if we could actually decrease the number of patients who experience these cognitive impairments after surgery and don't go through delirium. And then, beyond that, if we could decrease the risk for them developing Alzheimer's disease, that would be the apex of my career. There's no question about it.
And also, I think if we can find that this drug it's not just for heart failure patients, but aging patients, anybody who has surgery and who's older and has the chance of cognitive impairment, it might be effective in a number of different patients. I mean, that would just be stunning if actually we could bend that curve of cognitive decline.
Well, as a clinical trialist, I think about a lot of clinical trials I've been involved in and drugs that we prove work in heart disease. Doctors don't prescribe the drugs often. It's not taken up. Well, it's one more drug. Really, how good is it? How much better? Even if, people are dying at a much lower rate in the clinical trial, it takes a long time to convince the community. I think if this drug worked, convincing the community would not be hard. People understand cognitive dysfunction and memory impairment and how horrible it is. But here's a condition where there's no therapy at all. If we had something, this would be prescribed rapidly, I think, and taken up very rapidly. And having that kind of impact, to me, after watching how slow medicine evolves, would be really a joy.
It would be really exciting. Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's been a great
to
ride.
success.
That's right. Let's keep it going.
Here's to the next grant.
That's right.